Hi friends, I just wanted to jump on and talk to you about something today. I've been doing some videos and I just have had some different things on my heart. I'm wanting to write a little more, do a little speaking on these videos and just see where it goes from here. But today I just want to talk to you about acceptance, forgiveness, love, and boundaries, and how all of those flow together. So why is it important to have boundaries? You know, there's a lot of talk about boundaries, especially in the Christian world, where some people, they believe in boundaries and they think it's a healthy thing. And other people, they feel, we're just supposed to love. We're supposed to have grace. We're supposed to have mercy and forgiveness, and all of those things are really good things, obviously. However, sometimes we need to draw boundaries. Sometimes boundaries means love. And with boundaries, it doesn't mean that you're not loving or accepting of other people, but it's important to have boundaries. And why? Because oftentimes we will get in the cycle with different people, different situations that continue to be wounding to our hearts, wounding to our lives. Sometimes it takes, certain people that maybe they don't respect your time. Maybe they don't respect certain boundaries that you've set up, that you didn't even call them boundaries, but you're like, these are certain parameters for my life that I've set up, and they just don't know how to respect those things. So, and I believe, we're human. People take what they can get, and if we don't follow through, then we're showing a lack of boundary in a specific area, and naturally, humans will just take that from you unless you are strong in setting up a boundary. So first, I just want to talk about acceptance. It is important to accept people for who they are. So when you're looking at acceptance of other people, that means that you need to let go of expectations that you have on people. And so it's extremely important with acceptance that you realize you're not saying that behavior is okay. I agree with that behavior. I agree with that person. But what you are saying is that, I'm going to accept that person for where they are. I'm going to accept that person for who they are. And I may not agree. However, I'm just going to accept them. And not having expectations, it's an important thing that we let go of. And I always look at something what I would call, look at the history and the pattern of somebody, and what does that tell you? And that's not a hopeless statement, because do I believe in miracles? Do I believe in processes and God working on people and people working on themselves? Yes. However, if you're not seeing a person that's taking that intentional effort in order to shift and change, then chances are history and patterns will repeat themselves. So we have to come to a point where we look at people and we say, okay, you know what? I believe this is where that person's at, and I may not agree, but I'm going to accept them. And then moving forward, we're going to talk about forgiveness. What is forgiveness? And forgiveness is a choice. In a situation with people, after we've accepted them, we realize where they're coming from, there has to be a process of forgiveness, forgiving other people. And the thing about it is, when we forgive other people, yes, we're releasing them, but more importantly, we're releasing ourselves of bondage, offenses, the story that we play inside of our head of where people have hurt us or what they've done to us, and really just letting that go. I just say, like, why give somebody else power or control over the space in my mind that can be utilized for something healthier and better than me ruminating on unhealthy patterns that maybe somebody else is dealing with that wounded me, and whatnot. And the other part to it is forgiveness. It's about forgiving ourselves as well. We need to forgive ourselves as well. Be kind, I say to myself. Like, I need to be kind to myself. I need to give myself grace. And it's important because we are human. We make mistakes. And after you've made right what needs to be right, you need to let go of the things that maybe you're holding unforgiveness in a specific situation or with a friendship or a relationship. It's important that not only you forgive the other person, but you also forgive yourself. And the next thing is, after acceptance and forgiveness, is love. And love, like forgiveness, is a choice. And sometimes you might think like, well, no, it's a feeling, and it's not. Like, in the beginning of a romantic relationship, it might feel like, crazy, mad love and also infatuation. But long-term love in any relationship is a choice. It's a choice to accept, to forgive, and to love that person. It is all a choice. And so sometimes love doesn't look like the way that we would think it looks, in the sense of pursuing, connecting, and going after a person. Sometimes love is boundaries with a person for the betterment of yourself, respecting yourself, but also for that other person. There's many scenarios with this, so obviously it's dependent upon the situation. And the last thing is this word of boundaries. And like I said, some people are for boundaries, some people are not. If you want to know more about boundaries, John Townsend and Dr. Henry Cloud wrote a book called Boundaries. They have a book on boundaries that's general with all relationships, but they also have like boundaries in dating, boundaries in marriage, and boundaries are extremely important. And they are important because we need to be able to care for our own hearts. We need to be able to care for our own self. And sometimes we need to put up boundaries in order to do that. Not everybody should have access to the vulnerable parts of yourself. And sometimes that means boundaries, especially if you've seen a cycle of disrespect or pain or a certain behavior in a person that continues to affect you. Then it's time to put up boundaries. And that doesn't mean that you're not accepting. It doesn't mean that you're not forgiving. It doesn't mean that you don't love that person, but sometimes it's necessary. And I think that sometimes, even as Christians, I talk about this, like, we're like, no, we got to be forgiving. We got to be loving. We can't do that. Like, we shouldn't set up boundaries, but if you don't, then you have the lack of control in your own life and lack of respect in your own life. And a lot of people that don't set up boundaries, you'll get walked on, you'll get frustrated, you'll get offended by people a lot easier because you're tapped out. And it's important to know your boundaries, know what your capacity is, and then to be able to shift if necessary. And I was on the phone with a friend, and I got a picture when I was talking to this friend of like a person going out to war. Like, they're going out to battle. They don't have any armor on. They go out, they get shot, and they get wounded. Okay, so then they go back in, and then they go back out to this place, and they get shot again. They have no armor on, so they get wounded, and they keep repeating the cycle. Well, the difference is, in the need there, is that they need to put on their armor. And I believe boundaries are armor, because if you keep going into a similar situation, you keep getting wounded, you're the one that's responsible at that point for that wounding that keeps happening. You're responsible, that doesn't make the other person right, but you're responsible to put up that boundary. And that boundary, that guard, that shield that a person would have when they go out to battle, say, that is full of acceptance. It is full of love. It is full of forgiveness. But it's also full of boundaries, which represents protection. It represents wisdom. It represents the things that we need to look at and we need to weigh out. Okay, This is what I know about this person. This is what I know about this relationship. Let me weigh this out. Is the risk of maybe getting wounded, which wounding always happens in relationships, whether we have good intentions or not, but let me weigh this out. Is the risk and the cost much greater, or do I know the intentions of this person's heart, and is this a person that I can come together with and talk through things and connect and resolve conflict in a healthy way, or is it better for me to shift? So once again, I just wanted to talk about acceptance, forgiveness, loving, and boundaries. And I hope this helped. Please give me feedback. I'm looking for it. Have a good day.